Okay, this is part 2 of making our bread dough. So you've let this rest for 30 minutes, your timer went off. Now it's time to measure out 9 grams of salt. Okay, so I've got my 9 grams of salt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my right hand wet if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, get your left hand wet. Not dripping, just damp. Okay, right hand is wet. I'm going to sprinkle this all across the top of the dough. Okay, now what you're going to do is take your hand and mush it in. You want that salt to be real nice and deep into the dough. Take your bench scraper again and scrape the bowl. You'll see how the texture of the dough changes very quickly. It's not nearly as sticky. This is going to tighten up your dough so that you can work with it. Okay, so now you're gonna mush it in there really good so that there's salt in all of it. You're gonna still be able to feel it. It's still gonna feel grainy, but it's gonna be all mushed in there. Okay, now this is the Rubaud method. You'll see that in your recipe. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hand and kind of make a cup with it. And you're gonna take your dough and scrape across the bottom, and you're gonna shove the dough in kind of a circular motion so that your fingers end up on the middle inside of the dough. You're shoving that dough and stretching it to the inside in kind of a circular motion, and it's going to start making this really nice round ball. Scrape your bowl so that all of your dough ends up in there, and then keep doing this Rubaud method for, I don't know, maybe 45 seconds. You just want it to get nice and tight. And this is how it's going to incorporate into your dough. And you'll see how nice and firm this dough is. It's not very sticky. I mean, it's still sticky, but it doesn't stick like it was before. It's got this nice surface tension to it. And you can stretch it a bit, it'll break, but this is your basic first step to creating your gluten structure. So as your dough warms up and ferments and it rises, it's going to keep getting flatter. It's going to flatten out. And now you're going to set another timer for 30 minutes. Cover this and come back in 30 minutes and we'll talk about stretch and folds. Okay?